What's up out there? You guys are tuned in to the GM podcast. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We're starting off fresh this week, but we have an interesting topic today. Very interesting. Alongside of me is my best friend, my co-pilot, and my business partner, Gabby. Tell him what's up, Gabby.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing fine.
Today we wanted to talk about how people's reaction to negativity versus positive and how we get different types of feedback and how that affects us. Am I right, partner?
Oh, yes. We brought up the subject on how people respond to negativity versus positivity. And it's a very strange phenomenon. It really is, because why does our mind gravitate towards negativity? Why do we gravitate towards gossip? Why do we gravitate towards the news, all the bad shit going on in the world? We get turned on by that. We might not realize it. Or for instance, if you remember in high school, somebody would jump in a fight. Everybody's like all up in there. How is it, or why is it that our brains work that way? Are we raised this way? The environment affects us? First of all, I think I know the answer. I'm not an expert, but I think I know the answer. I know that absolutely our environments affects us. It affects our brains growing up. And so there's a lot more negativity than there is positivity in the world.
Would you say that this stems from as a young child?
Yes, I think that your upbringing has a lot to do with it. We get bullied at school. We get bullied by our own older siblings. We get made fun of. We are damaged people. I know it sounds a little bit like, well, we've touched on the subject before, but we've never really talked about why we respond so quickly on the negative stuff than the positive. And now I'll give you a good example, because I think maybe people are like, wait, what? Exactly. I don't want to lose anybody. Like I said, somebody's getting jumped, we run. We go over there because we want to see what the hell's going on. Somebody is getting bullied, everybody just kind of stares, brings out their phones. They get attracted to that. Like, let's say positive stuff. For instance, somebody's getting an award. People will show up to your party than for you receive an award. People will run to whether the party, the booze, the drinks, the food, right, but they won't go to your ceremony, which is why the ceremony's always just your closest family members, and then everybody rushes to the party. Or for instance, businesses. We're talking about this. You open up a small business. You open up a business, a school, something that you're so proud of. Something positive for yourself, for your family, for the community. And you almost have to bribe people to go. You have to bribe them to go, to support you, because it's positive. Not because it's positive, but what I'm trying to say is, like, does that make sense? Or even
positive for them.
Right. Or compliments. We were talking about this too. And I learned this, and I'm trying to work on it because I'm not a perfect soul. But when people say, hey, you're beautiful, or hey, you're handsome, people get weirded out. Like, wait, what? Yeah. What do you want from me? Or we get embarrassed. Accept it. I learned to speak right, and I don't know who it is. I wish I could give credit to the speaker, but I heard this motivational video one time that said, when someone gives you a compliment, learn to accept a compliment. Actually, I think it might have been Gary Vee. For those who don't know Gary Vee, he's an awesome person. He speaks the truth. But he says, when somebody calls you beautiful, when somebody calls you handsome, when somebody praises your work ethic, or just you as a human being, instead of feeling weirded out and embarrassed, learn to say thank you. And that's something that I'm working on.
Yeah, I have another example. It's kind of strange, actually, but if you, for instance, for a lot of you people that use social media, You put different stories about your life, or it's what you encounter on a daily basis, right? But like, let's say, yeah, you do want to start a business, you do want to surpass certain levels in your life. Let's say, hell, you're going for your GED. What do? Hey, you guys, like, I'm gonna put this on my story so you guys can check this out, see what I'm doing, and I appreciate the support. Nobody really takes nobody really takes action of that,
But post a breakup.
Yeah, you post a breakup. You post something that's so bad, like something that happened in the day that happened kind of badly, and people are like, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah.
Like it's none of your business type of thing, but at the same time, you do have the fault for posting it, exactly. But at the same time, it's like, okay, man, like yesterday I posted something that was very positive to me. How come I didn't get the same feedback?
Yeah.
Or I don't really follow celebrities like that, but Pitbull had a very interesting subject. He says, Pitbull, the singer or the rap artist, whatever you want to call him, he says, how is it that we encourage our kids when they're starting to walk? Hey, walk. Oh, you fell down? Get up again. Do it again. You give these little human beings, like, you give them wings so that they can start learning how to fly. But when somebody is of age, someone that's in their 30s and their 40s or whatever, 50s, they get no what's it called, no feedback, no respect on what they're trying to do, trying to uplift their life. They've lived a shitty life for a very long time, and they want to change that for once in their lives. And what do people say? No, you shouldn't do that. Or, you know what? You know what's better for you if you do this? Like, what the hell? Seriously, man. Like, and not that I'm not humbled, but there's a lot of things that I can work on myself, but there's also a lot of things that other people can do for other people to support them. Exactly. And to start making them feel a little bit better about themselves, because you don't know exactly what they've been through. You don't know how shitty their business has been doing for the last couple of years, that they wish they could hear somebody say something like, hey man, pat you on the back type of shit. It's very strange. It's very freaking strange to me.
I have another example. Since you brought up social media, females that show everything to the imagination, and what they're seeking is validation. Yes, what they're seeking is validation. What they're seeking is, and I'm not gonna lie, I used to post certain pictures. I've never posted sexual pictures. Let me get that out of the air first of all. But I have posted pictures of myself, whether in an attractive manner. I don't know how to describe it, but I used to post pictures to see the responses that I would receive. That side of me is gone. I don't seek that type of validation from men or women. The things that I post, I try my best to post informative. First of all, informative. Always informative, because it's not always going to be positive. I'm going to post real stuff going on in the world that I believe people should pay attention to. And then I'm going to post motivation, because it's not always sugar and rainbow. The world is not always sugar and rainbow. I like to post informative information to inform people what's going on, but I will always tell them to keep strong and keep their head up, because reality is reality. We can't escape from reality, but I'm always going to tell people how strong you really are. So my post on social media is a mixture of that. It is real stuff, news, information that people should pay attention to, and then positive reinforcement, like you're going to be okay. Nothing in this world is to be feared other than, in my opinion, God. And that's it. The judgment that comes from up above our Creator. And that's it. Because everything else, we all know we're going to die. We all know. So everything is superficial. But people seek the fakeness. People get thrills out of negativity, which is so puzzling to me. Like I said, girls, females, women will post these booty pictures or boob. Yeah, it's all fun and games for the guys who are looking at it, but that could be your daughter. You wouldn't want your daughter to present herself in that manner. I wouldn't want my son to date a woman like that, to be honest. And then also men. I believe also men lack confidence, so they post these pictures of themselves hoping that women are going to be like, hey, what's up? I think we seek the wrong type of attention. And it does make me a little sad, because I'm a person who, when I see someone struggling but fighting at the same time, all my respect to them, and I will reach out and say, you know what? Keep going. You're good for this. You could do this. Or people who have taken the time to send me positive affirmations or positive reinforcement or support on our business, on my personal growth. Oh man, I'm like all for it. I tell them straight out, thank you so much. You don't even understand how much you've made my day today. Because I think it's fair for us to give that person what they just did for us was a good thing.
Some type of validation.
Yeah. It's like, we don't need, if you really strip everything, you strip the brand clothing, you strip us from all our credit cards, you strip us from all the outside layer, you have this human, right? You have this human who really, at the end of the day, you die tomorrow, you're not going with any of that. You're not taking it to the afterworld, or you're not taking it to wherever you're headed. You're not taking any of it. So validation is one of those very dangerous things. Like, for instance, we talk about validation, but we also talk about giving people support. It's not the same thing. I seek the support of my family, of my friends. Is not validation. It's almost like what you just said earlier, partner, a support you give a toddler. The toddler's going to walk on his or her own. They just need your support to encourage, right? Because a toddler doesn't know any better. He or she is not looking for your validation. They're just trying to do a thing. And all they need is a support. So support and validations are two different things that I don't want people to get confused about, in my opinion. What do you think, partner?
You think of, for instance, me, let's say you do have a child, a toddler that you're trying to teach how to walk. What happens is that toddler, within the first few steps of them taking their first steps, they're ready to start running. They're on fire. These are the things that these kids they're feeding your energy to go out there and get it.
Yeah.
So when someone tells me, fuck man, you're doing fucking awesome, dude. Like,
yeah,
that makes me feel like I'm on fire. And
it gives you that extra push.
Yeah, it gives you an extra push. It gives you the aura to touch anything that you want and turn it into fucking gold. Those are the validations that anybody seeks for, but at the end of the day, it's only fair to tell somebody that, dude, like, how did you do that? Well, fuck, man, it's because of you. You helped me. You gave me the strength to just keep going, because it wasn't always easy, dude. And but when it comes to this negative stuff, it's like it could go two ways. Either they really care about you and they say, hey man, I hope you're doing good, this and that, you could try it again tomorrow. But when they just see you like kind of down and out, and they say, oh man, like, you should have done this better or that, like, it's their criticism. And honestly, like, if you want to start criticizing somebody, really understand what they're going through. Ask them, hey man, if there's anything you want to talk about, talk to me, and hopefully I can help you some type of way. I always feel like I'm that type of person. If I see someone that's kind of down and out, either they want to talk to me or they don't. Whatever their moment of feeling is at the moment, I'm not gonna tell them. I'm not gonna force it out of them. Be like, hey, when you guys are ready to talk, let's talk about this, and we'll figure out a way together, man. It's not that hard, but to some people, it's very difficult. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I agree. It's like I said before, it's a lot more easier to criticize than to give feedback in a positive manner. And I think I express myself in a way. I'm always very open. I am not afraid to express my feelings, whether they are good or whether I'm feeling a little bit pissed off at the time. I have no issues explaining how I feel. And if I care about somebody, I'm gonna straight out say, I'm gonna care about you. I care about you in this way. And the same type of feedback we give to our children, if we're good parents, because that's a whole other topic, but a lot of people think they're good parents, but they really got to look at themselves in the mirror. But if you're a good parent, you're going to give that support to your child, but also let them walk on their own. Like the toddler situation, the toddler example. You're not going to walk for them. You can't physically do it for them. You're going to pump them up. Pump them up and say, good job, good job. I wish everybody would see their friends and their family members that same way. Yes. Another example is spreading the good word. Spreading the good word. People are so ashamed or embarrassed to spread good positive memes, good positive vibes, reposting a business. That type of stuff is so weird. But you send them a funny, dirty, perverted video, oh, that shit spreads like wildfire. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a very strange phenomenon that people either we're lacking something, or we're born into this damaged world, or we're raised by, who knows? Like, does somebody know the answer? If you do, email us. For real, email us.
I think only Dr. Phil knows.
Oh yeah, no, Dr. Fauci knows.
Yeah.
No, for real, email us if you have an opinion on this podcast, because I love these strange questions, because it is a strange question. Why are we so attracted to negativity versus positivity? People get turned off. Like, if you're a happy person, what the fuck is she so happy about? I think I've had this on my podcast before. I've had people in my face tell me that. Why the hell are you always so fucking happy? Like, if it's a bad thing, or I love too much, I care too much, it's a bad thing. I don't understand why we are the way we are, but I guess that's human nature. That's why people like me, people like you, are rare to the world, because we are who we are, and we're not ashamed. We don't hide it. We're positive people. I love positivity. I thrive off of it, and maybe that's why whatever I touch becomes successful sooner than later.
Right.
And I'm a strong believer that you have. Oh, I'll give you a very great example. I had a cousin. My cousin, rest in peace. My cousin Randy. He suffered from muscle dystrophy. His mind, though, was gold. He was, first of all, his illness is a deadly illness. Obviously, it took his life. But the doctor said he wouldn't walk at a certain age. Like, he wouldn't walk in his teens, right? Or, I'm sorry, not walk. He wouldn't live past his teens. My cousin died at the age of like 30, like in his early 30s. He surpassed what the doctor said he was going to live. My cousin was always so positive. He had no mobility in his legs, in his arms, his fingers. He couldn't even speak. If you guys know anything about muscle dystrophy, it takes your mobility, your muscles become mush. And it was such a sad, but guess what, man? My cousin was a little entrepreneur. He was a little business owner. He hustled, and even though he couldn't do things himself, my aunt, his mom, helped him out a lot. He would tell his mom, "Hey mom, can you bake me some cookies?" And then he used to reach out to all his cousins and say, "I'm selling some cookie, guys. Can you guys, you guys support me?" I don't know about everybody else, but I used to run over there and buy like 2-3 dozen. It didn't matter if I was going to eat them or not. It was the support. I was showing him that I was proud of him by my support, my action. I would show up and say, "I want 3 dozen. He would sell drawings. You know what's really strange? The lack of mobility in his arms and his hands, but he had a little bit of mobility in his fingers. He would hold a pencil or a pen in his fingers and move it. He would draw pictures. And when he couldn't do that no more, he would do pictures on his laptop or on his computer. So he would digitalize drawings. My cousin, and when the day he was his final days, I will never ever forget, guys. And I hope this podcast, I hope people really listen to it. During his final days on his deathbed, he whispered in my ear that life is a miracle, and people have no idea that life is a miracle. My cousin went out like a soldier, man.
You know, it always takes an outsider to look at what's on the inside.
It always takes, yeah, of course, man. Or you know the irony about life and death, that it takes death for someone to acknowledge how beautiful life was, and not only how beautiful life was, but how much more they could have gave back to their friends and family. It takes death to wake you up in that manner.
Another perfect example, actually, the book that I got you, partner,
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh man.
There's a story of this kid. He's a deaf kid, and you know,
His dad.
his father, actually, his father is the one who set him up on game, and you know, he comes home and he's, you know, the kid, he comes home and he's whatever he can sell throughout the day. You know, he comes home and he's sleeping on his bed, and his mom walks in. The kid's mom walks in and she's like in tears, and she's like, you know, my little kid, you know, poor guy, you know, he was out there trying to make ends meet or trying to do things for us. But the dad, he's looking at this, you know, he's looking at the whole thing unveil, and he's like, I didn't see a pathetic kid. I didn't see that. I saw a kid with great potential, and he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, and that's what gave him the cheer in his soul. You know, that's what made him, you know, appreciate his son even more, because the son, I mean, yeah, you work with different deficiencies, and whether you have this negativity, you can feel the negative. You can feel the negative around you, and you can also feel the positive. You feel more of the positive vibes because you want to be positive. You know, so if they're positive vibes and that you're coming for with that other person that's out there doing what they got to do, if you come with good intentions to show these people positivity, don't stop showing them positivity. You don't know what they go through on a daily. And that's, you know, I think we take that a lot for granted nowadays, and it's a shame. It's a real shame, because we all can live, we can live without negativity, but we can't take the positive actions for granted.
Absolutely. And I feel like what you just said, this little deaf boy, I wish people could pick up that book, Think Rich, Grow Rich. It's an amazing freaking book. It's like a can opener to your brain. But when you can't make people do anything. But when all they need is just a little bit of a whisper. I'm proud of you. I'm clapping for you. I'm here for you. Nobody's asking us to spoon feed us anything, or spoon feed. Nobody's asking that. But a little bit of support, positive reinforcement goes a long way. Like I said, we gravitate to negativity all the time. People want to hear the juice. So-and-so cheated on so-and-so. But nobody will ever say, have you ever seen so-and-so so happy? That's a relationship that I want. Everybody's always like, oh, so-and-so's cheating on so-and-so. Like, seriously? Is that what turns you on? Is that what makes your spark, you know, your flame? Exactly. It's a very strange phenomenon. I'll say it again. But other than that, you know what? I'm going to continue spreading the good word. I'm going to continue being positive because it's worked out great for me. I've overcame huge obstacles, huge heartbreaks, huge failures, and disappointments. So obviously it's working for me. Giving back to the community, if you can't physically do it, or if you don't have the time, everybody makes the time for what they want. But let's say you don't have the time. You know how you could give back to your community or to your friends and family? Show them your support. Show them your love. Show them that you care. It doesn't take monetary. You're not going to lose any money doing this. You're not going to lose any money. If you can't afford what they're selling, repost it. Maybe one of your family or other extended friends may need their services. If somebody just graduated from college, give them a freaking shout out. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of passion and a lot of discipline to finish a college degree. You know, let's stop shitting on people and let's stop feeding off of their pain. Let's start giving them more wood for their flame. Support them, show them you care. That's my rant today, partner.
I can't disagree with that rant. You know, we all can use this positive in our life. We need positivity.
Yeah.
We seek it, you know, and whether it's validation. Look, man, if it's validation that you're seeking for, you're never gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get it to the people that think that might like you, but at the end of the day, you know, it's really up to you. It's really on you on how you feed these people your energy. So let's keep the positivity alive. You know, we all can do without negative shit, and you know, keep feeding that into your kids, keep feeding that to your family, keep feeding that to the friends that you really love, man. What's wrong with you guys? Not showing your friends and family, the people that you really love, the support? Come on. I mean, we all got to grow up. We all got to grow up. But thanks for your feedback, partner. You know, that's all we got for today. If you guys want to comment on this post, feel free. Feel free, because we can all use some type of negativity to get us boosted. Trust me, we shake off negativity in this company like no other.
Yep. That's right, man. That's right. Acknowledge your emotional damage, because I think that's what stops a lot of people from being positive and from loving and caring. Right. Narrow down and acknowledge your emotional damage and your emotional baggage, because that's what it is. It doesn't let you love freely. It doesn't let you support freely. You're like ashamed or embarrassed or who freaking knows. Right. But hey,
that's what we gotta live through, man. Keep pushing, you guys. We'll see you guys next time, and be safe out there.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. There's a lot of crazies out there.